Hello everyday and welcome to the Transylvanian Golbats draft analysis for the ISL Season 5. This is the 5th league I am in right now, which is a bit crazy. If you're new, hi, I'm ODF. I do apparently a lot of draft leagues now. I used to do just Minecraft content, but that is gone. There's also maybe a Diamond Let's Play still going on, but I'm not quite sure about that. We'll see, I guess. For some reason, I feel in a really good mood right now. Maybe just because I've got a lot of work done, but I've still got a lot of work to do with draft leagues and exercise and trying to stay social and schoolwork, which shouldn't be the last one on the list, but it is what it is. If you don't know what a draft league is, I will quickly break that down for you. A draft league is a kind of Pokemon battling tournament where you will choose, in this case, 11 Pokemon, and from the Pokemon are split into different tiers, like tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, tier 4, tier 5. You can also have points, so you can get, you can choose like how to allocate your points for it. It'll make more sense when I go through it, basically. But you get 11 Pokemon overall, including a Mega, and then for the next, in this case, I think it's 9 weeks. I'm just looking at the team schedule right now. Yeah, it's 9 weeks. We will battle 9 of the other 16 teams in the league. At the end of this, I think it's the 8 teams with the highest differential, so the most wins. So if I ideally win the next 9 games in a row, I will definitely be going to playoffs. Playoffs is like, you keep the same team, but it turns into a knockout tournament instead of a round robin where you just fight everyone else. So, it's a lot of fun. I'm really excited for it. I've never won a league. I'm not very good at it. I will make that clear now. I've been in 2 competitive leagues before, and I'm in 5 now. Right now I'm in NDBL Season 2, LGL Season 2, BBD Season 1, 8BD Season 6, and the ISL Season 5. The ISL community is great. We just finished the draft. It took a really long time. It should have been done a lot earlier, but it took a while. And the battles are due, I think, this Saturday, so I got a lot of work to do. Also, I'm going to warn you now, there's this YouTube, if you've watched this far, thank you, there's a YouTube thing happening. They're introducing this new rule, which is going to put a lot of creators at risk, political creators. Basically means channels can be banned if, and I'm not an expert about this, I think it's called the YouTube blackout is what we're doing, but channels can be banned just for kind of expressing their opinion. And I'm not really, it's mostly political channels, like feminist channels, channels that are really trying to help the world. This new rule isn't really going to affect my channel at all, first of all because I have less than 200 subscribers, and secondly because I am not political at all in my videos. Everything I do is just video game related. I don't even really say my opinion on video games unless I love them, which I do for Pokemon. But basically, I don't think a rule like that should be allowed. I think people should be allowed to spread their opinions on topics throughout the internet. So for 10th, 11th, 12th, and I think 13th, it might be just to the 12th of December, you will see no new videos on this channel. Or on any of my channels I have, not that I upload on any of the others. But I just thought I would warn you about that now. I will also warn you in the other videos that are come out till then. But then on the 14th, you'll see hopefully a lot of videos, ideally, but we'll see. Anyway, let's get into the draft. So, that took a really long time. I always take so long to actually get to the draft part of these videos, so if you say this long, again, thank you. I'm not very good at draft, like I mentioned, so I kind of built this team based off of... This time I didn't have a draft plan at all, but the first Pokemon I wanted was Latios. The reason I decided to go with Latios first is because it's a really solid Pokemon. In draft league, you kind of want a Fairy, Dragon, Steel, Fire, Water, Grass core, so I decided to just start away straight on that Dragon type of the Fairy, Dragon, Steel core. I'm trying to remember who my Fairy type... Yeah, I remember who my Fairy type is, we're good. For a second I thought, wait, did I not draft a Fairy type? Oh no! But I drafted a Fairy type, we're all good. Latios is a really good Pokemon. It has insane coverage. It's got like Thunderbolt, Hydro Pump, Psychic moves, Dragon type moves, Fairy type moves, Ghost type moves, Weather Ball, and it can use different weathers. It's so good. It's a tier 1. You love the tier 1s. It's a great Pokemon. It's going to come most weeks, and it's just, I'm excited to have it. I mostly drafted this because Sir Kill has his own Latios, and that thing's terrifying. Anyway, next up, the person who got me into Draft League, who I started watching the Draft League content of, is a guy called A-Drive. He's an incredible YouTuber, and one Pokemon that he uses quite a lot in Draft League when he can use it is Victini. So starting off with that Firewater Grass core with Victini, I used some of my free points to get another tier 1 Pokemon. I had the 15th point pick overall, and it was a snake draft, so it went like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, all the way to 16, then 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, all the way back up to 1, like that. I had the 15th pick, so I had kind of a wheel pick, like I would pick, somebody would pick 2 Pokemon, and then I'd pick again. So I picked Victini because it was still there. I haven't really seen many people use Victini, which is kind of weird because of how good it is. It can hit really, really hard. This thing is a nuke. It can hit really hard with Recreate. It also gets, I think it gets access to some of the Gen 5 legendary signature moves, like Bolt Strike. I might be wrong, but that would be really cool if it does. Basically, you put a choice band or choice specs on this thing, switch it in, something just dies. And that's really great. That's what you want in a Pokemon. It actually took a really long time before I drafted a Pokemon that wasn't a legendary, because the next Pokemon I drafted, I decided to keep up that kind of... We have a lot of speed and a lot of offense right now, but we don't really have much bulk on the team. And I need a water type for that Firewater Grass score. So I got Suicune. Suicune is an incredible Pokemon. It's really bulky. It's got access to Scald, which is great. I think it has access to Electric moves. It can Wish, it can Recover. So it has a lot of ways to heal itself, so it can stall out the opponent, and it takes a lot of hits. Bulky water types, they're few and far between, but I got one of the best ones in the format. Now, we've used a lot of quite old Pokemon. Gen 5 is the nearest we've gotten so far, and I wanted a new Pokemon. I'm using Regidrago in one of my leagues, I'm using Galarian and Zapdos in a different league. So what kind of Pokemon would I want for this? I decided to get the new mythical Pokemon, Zarude, because I really like the trailer for the new Pokemon movie that this thing's in. Like, I really like Tarzan, it looks like the Pokemon version of Tarzan. Well, kinda. It'll make sense if you see the trailer. I don't know much about Zarude. It's got Floral Healing, which is a really good move. It can heal like its status conditions and its HP. It's got that Dark Grass typing. Dark's good in Draft League, but Grass is very important. Also, it does have that quarter weakness to Bug, but Bug isn't that prevalent a type, and if you look at the Pokemon we have already, Victini destroys all Bug types. So that's always nice. I don't really know too much about Zarude. I'm going to learn more about it kind of as we go through this league. Don't expect me to win the first match because this is quite a competitive league, and I am not the best at Draft League in the world. But you know, you can have faith in me. I'm not going to stop you from doing that. Anyway, I decided to draft a Pokemon that finally wasn't legendary for my next pick, and I wasn't really focusing on the Fairy Jacket Steel core. Like, I had a Fire, a Water, and a Grass type, so we were good on that. But I needed a Steel and a Fairy type. So for my next 2 picks, I got both of those. First of all, I got Metagross. I kind of wanted this thing in a couple of other leagues, but I was sniped in those, and I finally managed to get it in this one. Metagross is insanely good. Tier 3 is, like, it's at the high end of Tier 3. This thing has Earthquake, Meteor Mash, just as the main things get. Giga Impact to do insane damage. This thing can just hit really hard. It's bulky as well. It's a Steel type. It is another Psychic type, which means we have 3 Psychic types on the team, but Bug is not very effective against Steel, so it kind of neutralizes it. Does worry me about our Dark weakness, but I think we should be fine. There's just a few Psychic types. I don't think we have any other Psychic types. I mean, if we do, we might genuinely have a problem. No, we don't. We're good. I have another list of it next to me here. Anyway, Metagross, solid Pokemon. I'm excited to have it. I believe the most important type in Draft is the Fairy typing. If you can use a Fairy type, like, they are bulky, they can take hits, and they can do a lot of damage, because Dragon is such a good type. So I always try to draft a Fairy. This is the longest I've ever waited to get a Fairy. I couldn't wait any longer, because all the good Fairies were leaving. Like, once you get through the good ones, like the Tapus, Clefable, I'm definitely not looking through a list right now. Florges, Sylveon, Gallade, not Gallade. Well, I mentioned some good ones. You kind of run out of options, but I did manage to get a low good Fairy. I got Mimikyu. Mimikyu is really great because it has that disguise ability, which isn't perfect. It doesn't anymore. It can't, like, take a hit and be 100%. It takes a hit and takes a set amount of damage, which is still pretty good. It gets access to Shadow Sneak, Moonblast, Play Rough, Steel type moves as well, I think. So it's just a really solid Pokemon. You can tell in Draft League I don't like to draft what I've already drafted in the past, so everything so far I've never used before, and this is all kind of new to me. So I think after these leagues I'll start trying drafting things again, but there's still so many Pokemon I haven't used, like Zeraora, Tangrowth, Florges, Registeel, Pangoro, Kecleon. I'm just listing off one of the different teams in the league. Anyway, moving on, I got my Fairy Dragon Steel Core, I got my Fire Water Grass Core, I want an Electric type. Electric and Ground. Once you get your 2 cores, it's Electric and Ground, those are the 2 types you want. And I decided to get a Bolt Beam Pokemon. If you didn't know what Bolt Beam is, if a Pokemon can learn both Thunderbolt and Ice Beam, which my next Pokemon can, it can hit every Pokemon in the game for neutral damage, which is great. And we got Lantern. Lantern is a really great Pokemon. It, of course, gets Bolt Beam. It's a low tier, as you can see it's tier 4, it's not the best. It only has that weakness to Grass and Ground, which is great. It can get Volt Absorb and Water Bubble, so it can have 2 immunities, which is again amazing. It gives us that electric typing. It doesn't really have 2 water types, but we also have ways to deal with grass types. In Latios can deal with them, Mimikyu, Metagross, and Victini is probably our main grass type counter. Yeah, so also I already know what this thing's going to be called. It's going to be called Lamp, after A-Drive's Lamp in his Soul Silver Nuzlocke. I don't normally name my Pokemon after what other people would name them, but I love that Lamp so much. Anyway, for our next pick, I decided to pick up that ground type that I was talking about. I was going to go for a low tier Mega. I don't like going for the higher tier Megas, but the ground type I wanted was Golurk. Golurk is a really great ground type because it has that Ghost type ability, meaning it has an immunity to 3 different types, which is insane. It's got knockoff, it can use flying type moves, it can use Earthquake, Poltergeist. This thing has good coverage, it can hit a lot. It is weak to Ice and quite a few other types, but the types it's strong against, it can destroy. So I'm really happy to have this thing on the team. Once you get to like kind of the lower tier Pokemon, you're kind of at the point of, yeah, they're okay, I guess. Anyway, next I got my Mega. I went for a tier 2 Mega, which is kind of the neutral Mega. It's not good, it's not bad. But Mega Heracross is okay. I don't know. I've never used it before. It's got solid attack power. It has that fighting bug type, which is solid. It gives us 2 new types that we didn't have before. And it's a Mega. I don't know what this thing's gonna do, but hopefully it does good. Anyway, that's it. Anyway, going into tier 5, once you get to tier 5, you kind of just, yeah, you're done at this point. You got the Pokemon that are coming pretty much every week. I feel like most weeks we're going to be bringing Latios, Suicune, Victini, Zarude, Metagross, Mimikyu. Like, that's a very likely team for all weeks. But on the weeks we don't bring those, sometimes we will dip into the tier 5. Some of my favourite Pokemon in tier 5, and there are definitely some Pokemon that are in tier 5 that are always drafted because they're good in tier 5, and that's what I drafted next. I drafted Drifblim. Drifblim is a totally solid Pokemon. It is another Ghost type, but it is a Ghost Flying type, so it's got, again, 3 immunities. Dark types on a team aren't really much of a threat because, actually they are a bit of a threat. Mimikyu and Heracross are our only Dark type resists. Never mind, that they are definitely a threat. Because, ooh, I may have made a mistake with that, but we'll see. Drifblim is really good because it has access to like power herbs and stuff, so it can set up with stockpile and just kind of sit in front of the opponent and take all the hits. Anyway, for my last pick, I was kind of a bit rushed because we were trying to make the draft go quicker. It had taken like 3 or 4 days at this point, and I didn't know what to get. I wanted to get Kamala, that was in tier 4, so I was wrong, and got what I'd always wanted to get. There's one Pokemon, I don't know why, every time I look through tier 5, my eyes are kind of always brought to this Pokemon, but I never get it. And I can't figure out why, because it doesn't look, I always thought it was because it didn't have a good move pool, and then I checked its move pool, and its move pool is actually kind of amazing. And that Pokemon that I wanted so much that I finally drafted is Arbok. I'm really excited to have this thing on the team. This thing's move pool is kind of insane. Dark type moves, poison type moves, ground type moves, electric type moves, water type moves. Okay, so only 5 types. That's pretty solid. Normal type moves as well. I'm really happy to have this thing on the team. It's going to do a lot of damage to the opponents. And anyway, yeah, that's really it. That is your Transylvanian Golbats first ever draft team. This is going to be a 9-week season. If we can make it to playoffs, that's going to be insane. But we'll see, I guess. I think it's only the top 8 or 4 teams are making it to playoffs. So we're going to have to do really, really well. But, you know, we can try. This is a solid team. Hopefully Arbok will finally be respected as a Pokemon. But anyway, thank you all so much for watching. Also, Arbok acts as a fairy resist, which is great, because we didn't really have many of those apart from Metagross. But anyway, that's going to be it. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you all have a dogtastic day. I will see you all in the next one, and ODF out. Goodbye.